For this week's Weird Science, Make Frosty Fly, you'll need a soda bottle, moving tape, a little drawing of Frosty, and a ketchup packet. Once you've drawn out your Frosty, you can stick some of the moving tape on it, or if you have a lamination sheet, you can do that as well. You just don't want that to get soaked because it will get waterlogged. Stick it onto your ketchup packet. You can draw some clouds or whatever onto your bottle and start filling it with water. Fill your bottle with water. You don't want to fill it all the way to the top, but just below getting to the top. And now add your snowman who's stuck onto the ketchup packet and go ahead and put it inside your bottle. What's nice is because you made your drawing small enough and you have it laminated, which we used moving tape, but you could use lamination sheets if you needed to, and you can go ahead and stick them on into your bottle. Now, if your ketchup packet, you might have to experiment a little bit. There's some ketchup packets that don't float so nicely. So you might have to try a couple different ones, but he should float. So I got my Frosty in there. He's floating. There he is. For some troubleshooting, if you find that your ketchup packet is sinking, you can add salt to your water. It'll make the water denser, but don't add too much salt. Once you have Frosty in there, grab the top and get it twisted back on. Nice and tight, and we're going to experiment. So we drew some clouds on here. What happens if I squeeze onto this? What happens? Let's test it. All right, friends, I had to adjust my water level. Now I'm using a 2-liter old soda bottle. So if you're using a smaller water bottle, you might have to adjust your water levels. I found that I did have to have it a little closer to the top for the water. Now when I squeeze the bottle really tight, look what happens. Frosty sinks down. Now when I let go, whoop, Frosty flies up. Pretty cool, huh? I wish we could get Frosty to face us. How crazy is that? Come on, Frosty, come over this way. There he is. All right, squeeze your bottle. He sinks on down and release. Whoop, look at Frosty fly. Now, why is that happening? I'll give you a hint. Ketchup packets do have some little air pockets to them, and it has something to do with buoyancy. Now, buoyancy causes things to float. If an object is able to sink or float, has to do with air and how much surface area, and the ketchup packet is less dense than water, so it floats, but it sinks because the ketchup packet has a little air to it, and when the bottle is squeezed, the air pocket gets condensed and it causes the ketchup packet to become denser than the water, and so it sinks. So you try it. All you need is a ketchup packet, either moving tape or some lamination. Draw your little picture of your Frosty. I drew some clouds just for fun because I thought it looked like Frosty was flying through the clouds. And really, that's it. Have some fun with it and experiment. Again, you might have to adjust your water levels, but think about buoyancy and why things sink or float. Enjoy. Here were a couple of books that I found at the Manlius Library, including Awesome Physics Experiments for Kids. Specifically, Chapter 3 talks about buoyancy, so you might want to check this out and do some of the experiments to learn about a little bit more about buoyancy and things that sink and float. And for fun, this picture book, What Floats in a Moat? And that's by Lynn Berry. So you might like to check these out and do some further research about buoyancy, which was this week's lesson with having our Frosty fly. So check out these books and more at the Manlius Library. Feel free to reach out at our Instagram page at Manlius Library, #Miss Wendy. Let me know what you found.